Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Onsite Renovation Group for August 7th, 2018. We're here at 52 Adair Avenue Southeast in Atlanta. I'm Dustin Griffin. I'm also here with Don DeRosa and the host of this property, Michael Rochester and Damon Smith, which I'll introduce you to in just a minute. I want to remind everybody that we're now meeting twice a month on the first and third Tuesday of the month at real job sites. Some of these rehabs are just getting started. Some are well underway, and some are completely finished. So if you want to learn how to rehab, come check us out for sure. Also want to remind you, if you want to watch any of these replays, check them out at facebook.com Onsite Atlanta, facebook.com Onsite Atlanta. Also, we upload these to our YouTube channel. So you can subscribe to it at youtube.com/Atlanta REIA. That's youtube.com/Atlanta REIA. There you'll also see recordings from our beginning investors group, as well as our beginning investor group online, in addition to these on-site videos. So check them out. So let's get started. Thank you for being here today. All right, everybody, welcome to the on-site renovation group. We appreciate you all coming out today. This is Michael and Damon's first rehab deal. We are recording this to put it up on our Facebook channel as well as our YouTube channel. So you'll get a much closer view of the property today, and they're going to tell you all about it. And I'll probably walk out to the street before we wrap things up so you can get a kind of a wide angle shot. But before we get started and I do all the introductions, I wanted to introduce Joseph Castaneda with Baker Collins.
How's everybody doing?
He's one of our sponsors. It's going to be sponsoring this group on an ongoing basis.
So let me get up here so everybody can kind of hear me out.
Yeah.
There we go.
All
right, so
Joseph's
how's everybody doing?
He's a hard money lender.
All right, so yeah, I'm a hard money lender. I pretty much, we didn't fund this project per se, but this is what we do. We fund any type of fix and flip projects, rentals, new construction, and commercial. So how this kind of works, they're all in at $153,000, correct? Mm-hmm. So the ARV on this property has to be at least at 218 for this to make sense as investors, okay? Are we going to surpass that number?
Definitely.
Right. What just sold? You just mentioned something that sold down the block.
305.
305.
For that one.
The new
That
house.
is nuts. So
But
we
that's
compare-
a new construction. Now the comps for the price of square foot for a comp for this, we're looking at about 250.
Okay, good. So you're comparing apples to apples, guys. So when you're doing a project, something like this, make sure that your realtor's giving you comps that make sense. Nothing that's new construction versus something that's not really new construction, right? Mm-hmm. So what you want to ask them is, how many bedrooms? Are you adding square footage? Are you going to add a bathroom? That's really going to make sense.
That's assuming you have an agent.
Assuming, correct, right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you want to build your team, right? You want to have your realtor, you want to have your general contractor, right? So, and if you don't have one, that's why you go to the Atlanta REIA and you lock arms with certain individuals that is going to help you make these projects come to reality.
We teach these guys how to pull their own comps.
Well, absolutely, yeah, good, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Accurate comps.
Accurate, right. So we close within 72 hours of us getting the appraisal back. So we understand how quickly the market goes, so we got to go at the speed of it as well. And I get you pre-approved within 24 hours with a proof of funds letter. Guys, let me tell you, a lot of these sellers won't even give you 2 seconds if you don't have that proof of funds letter, okay? It holds weight. I mean, when I say weight, it's weight. So if you guys have any questions, I'm going to be passing out my business cards. We are located in Midtown here in Atlantic Station. Our headquarters is located literally in Atlantic Station. So if you guys want to, feel free to stop by the office. Hey, by all means, our house is your house. Thank you guys for having us here.
We appreciate you being a sponsor. Did you bring some cards today?
Yeah, I'll get you some cards. I'll pass them out in a few.
Yeah, and if you can not only pass them out, maybe leave some out here on the stone in case some people straggle in later.
Sure, absolutely. Dustin, thank you for having us.
All right, thank you for being here. We appreciate it. All right, you guys ready to get started?
I guess.
Well, I just want to introduce you guys. Who's here for the first time? All right, this is the On-Site Renovation Group. We do this twice a month on the first and third Tuesday of each month at noon. We always do it at an active job site. It could be one where not much has been done yet, like this one, just a little bit of demolition, versus one that's halfway finished, versus one that's almost finished, or one that's completely finished and staged. So we're going to go look at all different types of rehabs over the course of the next year with you.
This one's staged. It's just staged differently.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That's right.
It's staged by like whoever lived here last, or whoever's been living in it since.
Right.
Squatting here. But we'll probably most likely come see this again, probably halfway through when these guys start making some progress, as well as again when they're completely finished and do have it staged and ready on the market. We'll throw a party probably as well, have a keg party here or something, maybe have a cookout.
Victory.
Yeah. It's going to definitely be a celebration for sure. And in case you didn't know it, this is Damon Smith, this is Michael Rochester, and this is their first major rehab project. And it's a big one. It's a big one. So
big.
the name of their company is Rock Dem Solutions. They're relatively new investors. So by attending these meetings, you'll get to see what seasoned investors are doing, what intermediate investors are doing, or what other brand new investors are doing. So you're going to see all different facets of how we renovate properties. Later this month, on the third Tuesday, which I believe is the 21st, we're going to see a project that we're wrapping up in Snellville. We went out there a few months ago. Don and Chrissy and myself are working on that project. It should be finished by then. So y'all are invited to see come see the finished rehab. Should be fully staged by then if we don't run into any snafus over the next 2 weeks.
Good. Let's hope so.
But it's been,
good.
yeah, it's looking good and it's been coming along quite well. So I know some of you have already seen it.
How many people saw that at the beginning before we started?
We did not.
Yeah.
Oh, you went.
You'll be shocked.
Well, if you didn't see it, that's okay. We
You'll be
recorded it.
shocked.
It is up on the Facebook/Onsite Atlanta page, Facebook.com/Onsite Atlanta. It's also up on our YouTube channel, which is YouTube.com/Atlanta REIA. You can scroll down and look at the playlist and see all of our previous on-sites that we've recorded, such as the one we just did last month with Amy Ransdell. This one will be up there probably in the next week or two as well, so you can watch it back if you have to leave early or something. So if you want to learn how to rehab, please continue to come check us out. Come get involved with us. Don, before we wrap up today, make sure you mention the upcoming 2-day event we have. I do have some flyers in the
I want to
truck I'll give
mention
you.
that. I also want to mention PPG for those of you that don't know what it is. It's group coaching. Damon and Michael were part of that group coaching. So if anyone's interested, I'll give you a little 5-second, more like 30-second intro to what it is.
Well, before you do, how many of you guys here are in PPG, just out of curiosity? Raise your hands.
What is that?
It stands for the Property Protege Group.
PPG is called, it's Property Protege Group, and it's group coaching.
Okay, understood.
We spend an entire year with you, and we meet every Wednesday.
Okay.
So
Apparently it's working because
we meet every Wednesday from 7 o'clock till whenever we're finished, and
Finished,
usually goes about till 11:30.
We're going to have you come speak sometime and talk about all the money you have to loan.
Sure.
But there's a lot that goes into it, but that's just the high level.
Understood.
So,
Good.
so I guess the question is, now that you guys are famous,
Let's start from the beginning.
Let's start from the top.
Well, the
How'd
beginning.
you find it?
Well, before you get into how you found it, can you tell us a little bit about yourselves real quick?
Yeah.
So these guys that don't know you know who you are, how you
Like
get
what?
started, how long you've been doing it.
Oh, well, we got started back in, we basically got started in January with the whole education aspect of everything and starting to get into the real estate thing. Well, we got ahead of ourselves real quick. We jumped in a lot. So we joined PPG in January, and that's where we also started going to Atlanta REIA groups. We met a whole bunch of other investors, Mike Schwinker and stuff. And so this is actually Mike Schwinker property. We actually had another one of his earlier in the year. This was February, so that's a month in. Turns out that one was in probate. We finally got that one out, and we have another exit strategy for that. But this is our main one that we're working on because it's our first big rehab. So, yeah, that's where we're at right now as far as that goes in the investing.
So what's your background?
College student,
Okay.
Do you mind if we ask how old you are? Because you look fairly young.
21.
Okay.
Fortnite aficionado.
Yeah,
Trying to
for sure.
be.
For sure. Mike, why don't you introduce yourself?
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Michael Rochester. Damon and I started this, as he said, about in January, so we went full into it. I do have another full-time job. I'm a software implementation supervisor for a technology company that provides utility billing software to cooperatives and municipalities around the country. But that aside, because that's not important right here. Real estate has always been an interest to me. I haven't never really dived into it until several months ago. And so as I learn more and more, I become more and more interested than I was even before. And so that's why in January, Damon and I decided to team up, and we were going to go at this as full force as we possibly could, learn as much as we can, and try to get something going with this business. And eventually I want to be able to replace my job with doing this full time. So hopefully you'll get some insight of some things that we've learned in the last 4 or 5 months with
Big
this
lessons.
particular property.
Yes, we're looking
And
forward to it.
maybe you can implement some strategies to help prevent the bad things from
That's why we're
happening to
here.
you.
Lots of bad things.
And you can stay on track with your projects too. Okay, so I guess we can start with
Yeah. So
the
how'd you
whole
find
house.
it?
This was
Right.
a Mike Schroenka property. It was a wholesale deal for $68,500. At the time, it was earlier in the year. I had 2 appraisals. One appraised at 202. One appraised at 410.
220.
Or
It appraised
220.
at 220.
Yeah,
This
I'm
one,
getting them confused.
which was also Mike's appraisal. His appraiser also Mike Schroenka.
Schroenka.
Mark Mayer, who appraises?
Huh?
Is this Mark Meyer?
No.
Who appraises?
It's not.
No. But it appraised at 220. Then we had the lender's appraiser, who appraised it for a
High.
crazy amount
Okay.
because I had to challenge him on the price, but it didn't matter because that
So
was
what did
the
he
lender
appraise
was
it for?
4 something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
he was using town.
Grant Park.
People's Town is right over, like right across the Jonesboro Road, like 5 minutes up. So
And
he was
also
using
Grant Park.
comps from that area, but it's like Lakewood Heights is like a huge triangle. He went outside that triangle where the prices are higher.
Okay.
So I had to read the.
So you have it
appraisal.
under contract. I mean, you bought it for how much?
68.
68. Okay. What's your rehab budget?
85.
You think you can do it with 85?
Well, see, we estimated around 90-ish.
With
Okay.
Now we've
contractors.
had some contractors that come in at 1. One came in at 150. Absolutely not. Then some of them came in at like 66, 80-ish. So we're actually going to sign with another contractor. We just fired our first contractor, which is why it still looks like this. But we're about to sign with another contractor for 85.
Okay.
he's
So
gonna go.
what? So you got 68 and 85.
Yes.
That's what you think you're gonna.
Well, 85 doesn't include like all of the landscaping, and it doesn't include permits.
Yeah,
So
85
95,
doesn't
so
include
call
permits. He said 85
Like-
with permits.
Okay. So call it 90, 95
Yeah, just say 95.
with all in.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll say you're in it at 168.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say 168.
And we actually calculated like all in with lender fees and holding costs and
Yep.
interest and all that. If all worst comes to worst, like the roof falls in or something, we're probably going to be all in. We estimated about 190 for
Okay.
everything. So we'll still come out
And
with our
what's
profit goal.
what do you think this will sell for?
We're pretty confident we can sell for 250 with the right finishes.
250.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Because the houses around here are going for done right, obviously, because there's quite a few rehabs that have actually been sitting, but they're not like a Mike type or even your
So
type.
let me ask you a question. What was so far up to this point, because you haven't really started it, what's been the most challenging part?
Contractor, getting a contractor to actually get his guys out here and do work. We got all the plans ready.
How long did it
Well,
take you to get permits?
Well, see, that's the
That's-
thing.
we're
that
still waiting on
before
permits.
getting people out here, we need permits, and so we got the blueprints. We worked with the architect. We got the blueprints, and then, well, he was supposed to get the blueprints because he had some of our money to do that with at that point.
The contractor.
The contractor, and he is the contractor. If I say, or
Okay.
Frank is also the contractor. If you hear me say Frank.
Okay.
So another thing is Frank would always schedule an appointment with us and the architect, and Frank would be late or wouldn't show up, and the architect couldn't wait. Well, we did that for a couple of weeks. Had gone by. Every time he was missing the appointment, and the architect couldn't stay around 45 extra minutes
Exactly.
past our scheduled appointment
So
time.
this
Let me
from
tell you
being-
something. Right there is a huge
No.
Red flag.
red flag.
Yep.
If the contractor hasn't even started and they're already late, and they're already delaying the project, and they're already not meeting with people, once you give them cash, I promise you, they ain't coming back.
And the thing is, we gave him like $3,000 up front to start, right?
Yeah.
And he did very minimal demo, very minimal demo. Like he sent us he actually called me on FaceTime like the next day after we gave him the money. And he was like, hey, look, we're working, blah, blah, blah. He had dumpsters out here. There was actually a lot more stuff out here in the yards and in the house that they actually cleared out, but that's basically all he did. After that, it was like, oh, I'm going to get to it. And we're like, we can't just wait for you to get to it.
Okay, so what'd you do? You kick him to the curb?
Yes, so now that comes from
Good
being
choice.
naive and very passive.
Good choice.
Yeah, that comes from being very naive and passive. So now we're starting to be aggressive and active, meaning we're also signing with another contractor this week. We actually just met with him for like the third time the other day to finalize everything. Now, my portion is now that after that experience, even though we are signing with him, I'm not going to trust everything he says. So as far as permits or getting other things
you guys
scheduled,
don't have any permits
no,
yet?
that's, yeah.
Yeah.
Holding
Okay.
cost of killing us.
So how long have you had this?
Since April.
Okay, so April, May, June, July. So you've carried this thing 3 months.
Yep.
What's your carry cost on this?
About
$1,158 a month.
Yep.
So
How you like writing that check?
30. So
It's not fun.
$3,500.
Just for
And
waiting.
For
you
nothing.
had plus
No.
what you paid him.
Yeah.
So you're out $6,000 and you haven't started yet. So for those of you that are brand new, that's lesson number one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when you are doing a job, especially this, well, first off, I'm going to tell you, how many people are brand new? All right, if you're brand new and you've never done this, don't do this type of project on your own. You get somebody, I don't care who you get, call me, call Dustin, call someone else that's done multiple projects and they know what they're doing, because if you try to do this on your own, it's going to be a very expensive seminar for you.
Also, another
I
thing
know,
is, another thing that we had is the contract that we used was referred by another investor he's actually worked with him, and he actually had to fire him too because of what was happening. So he was, and we actually we vetted this contract and everything. We got all his documents
So
and
the
everything.
first contractor you're talking
Yes,
about?
his first contract.
Who is
we
this
went
guy?
to
Do you mind sharing him?
somebody,
Frank,
forgot his last name.
Francisco Zamron.
Yeah.
But
he-
we call him Frank for short though.
Francisco what?
Zamron.
But we even went to some of his properties that he was actually working on. So like we saw his guys working and everything. So we even went to his properties. He was recommended from another investor, but I think he just got lazy or too busy.
Too busy.
Is what I think it was. I think he got
That's-
too busy and he put too much on his plate and then put us on the back burner. So we
Now let me ask you a question. Did you have just casual conversations with him, or did you have sit down meetings with him and say, okay, this is unacceptable before you cut him loose?
we had a conversation. We've had phone calls and we've actually came to meet at the property and we sat with him and
had
talked
some
to him.
come to Jesus conversations.
Okay, because that's the biggest thing I will tell you. You know, everybody in this business is moving at a mile a second, right? I mean, they're at 60 miles an hour. So before you cut somebody loose, if you've got someone that came recommended, sit them down, talk to them at least, before you have that come to Jesus meeting. And then the second time they do it, cut them loose. Because it's a habitual thing at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to get any better.
And this guy, this contractor we're about to sign with now, he's actually going to be working on another investor's property right down the street on the corner. So he'll have two properties
good.
right next,
That's good.
Yeah.
right on the same street. Which
That's real good.
yeah. So if we can't find him at our property, he better be working down the street.
Right.
Well, it makes it easier on him. They like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That makes it way easier. So
All right.
yeah.
So that's been your challenges so far. So
Yes.
you found a contractor. What's your plan for this? How much? Well, let me start over. How much did you guys? You already have a drawing for this, right?
Yes.
So you already had an architect come through. What are you adding square footage?
Yes.
Yes.
So how much square footage are you adding?
About 300.
Okay, so
Roughly.
you're adding 300 square foot.
Yeah.
It's currently what?
It's like 15.
86.
And how many bedrooms and baths?
It's 3 bedroom,
Right
1
now,
bath,
yeah.
technically.
Right
So
now
now
it's a
you want to
300.
add 300 square foot, and I'm assuming to pick up an extra bath.
Yeah, well, the master is going to be here in this space, and it's actually part of behind this wall here. So we're stretching it out. This is going to be like closet, and then moving into the bathroom here on the end.
So what are you doing here then?
Okay,
gotta be
so
knocked,
this
and this gotta be
room is
built
being
out.
built out to here. Of course, there's roofing work that has to be done. This corner has to be pushed back because the bedroom master suite is actually going to go to corner here.
Okay, so basically this,
Or actually, I'm sorry, I think it's actually this corner to that corner.
from this corner right here,
Yeah,
like
to
from
that
right
corner.
here,
We're moving the driveway.
Yeah.
from right here over to that corner.
yeah.
So all this where Mike's sitting right here,
Uh-huh.
Yep.
comes
All
out.
this has to come out.
We're sitting in the master bath.
You're sitting.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe on the wall, but
And I think we did that
I think you're
because
sitting where the toilet would be.
we thought that would be the most. It is more expensive, which is why it's also so much. But
And what is your budget for this whole project?
like we said, about 90. Realistically,
it's
90,
90,
95.
Does that include the outside work?
Yes.
yeah. But that everything except
landscaping.
the landscaping and permits.
It's going to be a tight one. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Appraisal, is it a backup for your ARV, your desktop appraisal?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
You did an appraisal.
Mhm.
Okay.
It was a formal appraisal. It wasn't
Yeah, it was
a
a
drive-by.
paid professional
it was a,
appraisal.
It was a.
So when you do your ARV, you get an appraisal to back up your numbers.
Correct.
Yeah, we actually had 2 appraisals on this one.
But I'm going to tell you, being in this business 20 years,
Don't mean nothing.
not all appraisers and appraisals are created equal.
Mm-hmm.
So just because you get an appraisal does not necessarily mean that that's what the house will sell for. He could be completely wrong. It could sell for more, it could sell for less.
Mhm.
Yep.
That's an individual's opinion, and take it for what it's worth.
Like we said, this is a perfect example. We had an appraisal for 220, and we had an appraisal for 410. So
Yeah.
In
yeah.
between there somewhere.
Yeah.
It's in between
Yeah.
somewhere, exactly.
So,
Wow.
Exactly. So my
big
advice,
spread.
my advice to you, if you don't understand how to do your own comps and how to understand and do that, you need to get training on how to run your own ARV.
Yep.
So that you can call BS on an appraiser that comes in and says 400,000. These guys are smart enough to know that that's not going to fly. But if they weren't, if they didn't have the education that they did, they would have said, okay, we can get 400 for that because some professional said we can get 400. And I can tell you this won't sell for 400.
Was that appraisal? Was that the wholesaler that sold you his appraisal?
No,
No,
the
that
wholesaler's appraisal was actually 220.
Yeah.
The lender's appraiser was the
What
410.
was the wholesaler's cost to construction?
His was like 65 or
He wasn't
70,
going to do
something.
quite as
Yeah,
much as
but
us.
he wasn't doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
All
He
he
just-
was doing was adding a bathroom, and then
Upstairs.
yeah, all he was doing was adding a bathroom upstairs and then updating everything else.
Which is still a little low.
Yeah, still low though for that.
Yeah. I'll give you an idea. We did the house when you go the next on-site to
Snellville.
Snellville. When you go see that house, we probably put 70 grand into that.
Oof.
Maybe a little more.
It's pretty
All that,
average.
70.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ,
So when you see that, you'll see what 70 grand gets.
Uh-huh.
it looks good though.
But we didn't add square footage.
Yeah.
We didn't add a single bit of square footage.
Jeff, you notice the cost of labor's gone way up and the cost of materials has gone way up. Lumber alone skyrocketed.
You're there now.
Yeah, so hopefully the market will continue to heat up and you'll be able to ride that wave a little bit with prices.
Right.
Which we had alternative plans before we finalized the plans with the added square footage, which would have been a little bit less, but for the effect of the cost
The give and
more
take.
for the square footage versus the price to sell was more. So
So,
It's
you
gonna
know,
be a
my
bigger
advice at this
job.
point is you guys need to get on your horse.
yes,
Because every day it's clicking away at
I'm actually
Yeah,
gonna have
holding
to
costs.
go.
You can
because
actually-
I don't trust even though we're just starting with the contractor. I don't fully trust anybody in the contracting realm anymore. So I'm actually gonna go do the permits myself and work that, weasel my way through that. I mean, it's always best to learn.
So this
on
is
your own.
costing you about $38 a day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Every day you're sitting on this,
Yeah.
it's like taking me to lunch for $30 every day.
I'd rather you take me to lunch every day.
Yeah, me too. Huh?
You have to wait in the contract to get permits. You can actually get.
No, you don't have to.
You don't have to. The problem is you're in basically the city of Atlanta, okay? And they're not known for their expeditious process. All right, they're not known for that. So a lot of times what people will do is they will actually hire
An expediter.
expediters. Again, I'm going to tell you, expediters are worth their weight in gold if you get the right one. So before you hire an because there are expediters that aren't really expediters.
They just say they are.
They just get paid to go down there and sit and wait when you can do the same thing and it takes you just as long, if not faster.
So get a referral.
So you need to get somebody that someone else has used, loved, not liked, loved. These guys are awesome. Use them, okay? That comes with a lot more than, yeah, I used this guy, he was okay. You don't want okay. You want, if you're going to use an expediter, this guy's great. He knows everybody down there. He'll get your permits like that. Then it's worth the $1,500 or whatever you're going to spend on an expediter to do that. So, yeah. So other counties aren't nearly as bad, but Fulton County, for some reason, because of, I guess, the sheer volume that they have, it takes a while.
But I'd like to open it up to the audience for any questions before we go inside.
Yeah.
I was staying out here on purpose because it's probably a little bit cooler out here in the shade than it is in there.
Yep.
But let's take some questions.
Yeah, why other people like investors I've known, maybe 20 of them, they don't pull out permit and then they sell the house? How is that? Why we are pulling our own permit?
Okay, so you're asking why do other investors not pull a permit?
Yeah.
Well, because they don't want to go through. I mean, I can only assume this answer, but they don't want to go through the bureaucratic BS of sitting on it for 2 or 3 months while the permit. I mean, is James here?
He's not.
Okay, James, he's also a PPG member. He bought his property right about the same time they bought theirs
From Mike.
from Mike. He's still waiting on permits.
Oh,
They waited
what?
6 months.
And how long was yours?
How long? 4 months. 4 months.
4 months.
So what is the benefits of getting the permit while others, they sell the house without using the permit, anything, and it's still
They get
the
away
same
with it.
appraisal?
You get away
They get
with it.
away
Well,
with that?
Well, you know,
Let me answer that question.
Okay, go
What?
ahead.
That's the
The main
city.
reason that you get a permit is because you're doing a major amount of work. You're doing the heating and air conditioning. You're doing a new electrical system.
Yeah.
You're doing systems that require sub-permits under
Yeah.
the general contractor's permit. And if you don't have the permits, then you can't get proper inspections to get the job passed in order to get the power turned on.
Yep.
yeah.
What about if it's the power's turn on, the water's turned on, everything's turned on? All you need is, you still.
Okay,
need the
so
You
let me
might not
answer.
need
I'll
it
answer
as
that.
much.
Yeah.
I'll answer that. Why do we get permits to begin with?
Yeah.
Because you're supposed to.
Well, it's not just because you're supposed to. You have to remember, you have all different. The state of Georgia, up until I don't know how many years ago, you didn't have to have a license to be a builder, huh? 2004, is that what it was? You didn't have to have a license. So any Tom, Dick, or Harry that said I wanted to build a house could go take some lumber and some nails and go build themselves a house and call themselves a builder.
Oh no.
There was no standard. They didn't follow any necessarily standards or anything like that. So 2004, they changed that, and now everyone has to have a license. Well, remember, eventually you're going to put a family in this house. So the county's role in all of this is to make sure that you're doing the electrical up to code so that some, fly-by-night electrician doesn't come in, cut a bunch of corners. And I'll give you an example. I had an electrician we didn't get a permit on, okay? He rewired, because in almost all my houses, I put a ton of can lights in the ceiling. Well, he did his thing. I didn't go look at it. I don't go in the crawl space. The inspector came in. Every single one of them had exposed wires in every one of them. Okay, now, if I had gotten an inspection on that, the inspector would have caught that right then and there, and I would have had that electrician go back and fix it. Okay? So the last thing you want, you're doing the right thing, and they're making sure that there's standards across the board. That's why the permits. Now, I can tell you, so a good renovator will do, even if they don't pull permits, will do it up to code. But I can tell you why some renovators don't pull permits is because they don't want to wait 3 months and pay, $3,000-$4,000 in holding costs just while we're sitting here. So to answer your question, that's why some people don't, and some people do.
One thing more, since there is the buyer's inspector is very thorough than Atlanta inspector. I had that one that
yes,
I sold,
I can explain that one too.
I haven't have a final permit, final from the final building inspector, but I sold the house. But the buyer's inspector are more thorough, every detail, everything, and then when it comes out, everything, we corrected everything from the electrical, from the plumbing, everything, and then it was sold. And then I called the building inspector and I told Tavina, hey, I sold already. These are all the what do you call this? Found by inspector. He reviewed it and then he said that he just signed it. The
they accepted
Well, you're lucky.
Yeah.
You're lucky they accepted that.
Yeah. There was a big list.
You're lucky they accepted that.
She fixed a lot of stuff.
Okay. But I can tell you, I can answer that question too. When your buyer hires a company, it's just like when you go hire a lawyer or an attorney to do something for you. You can hand your attorney a document that is perfectly written, that is perfectly legal, and it doesn't need to be changed. But if you hand your attorney something for him to or her to review, I can attest that almost in every case, they will change something. They will rewrite something. Same thing goes with an inspector. If they're paying, your buyer is paying that inspector, they're getting paid to find stuff wrong.
Yeah.
Okay? Some agents, and I don't know if I have any agents that will admit this, they want to find stuff wrong because what happens when they find stuff wrong? It's a bargaining, it's a negotiating tactic to lower the price or get a bunch of stuff fixed for the seller so that they look like they're, okay? So that's why they do what they do. Just my opinion.
Other questions from the audience? Right back here.
I know you mentioned around 80,000 was kind of like the total cost. Could you maybe just divide it up in labor and materials and, kind of draw us down, kitchen this much, washroom this much, kind of like just a little bit of a...
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We could do that right now.
Yeah, and we wrote it down on a spreadsheet, but we don't have all the numbers right now for all that.
That's not uncommon if you go to a contractor. If you're new, you don't quite know what to ask for yet. So if one of the things you should ask for is a breakdown of labor and materials, because a lot of times they will just put one light on them like paint. Well, it might be $300 for paint and $3,000 for labor. So one of the things that you'll notice the more you do is if you break those items out into line items, you'll be able to see where that contractor is spending their hours or where they're trying to make their profit margin. Because one of the biggest profit margins in any rehab is the labor only stuff, like paint, that type of stuff, where it doesn't require a lot of material, but it's a lot of labor.
Which is also when we talked to this new contractor, we wanted him to break it down that way because they also try to mark up materials.
Exactly.
Because they try to get them themselves. So what I told him was, hey, split it between labor and materials, because if I can find something that's a similar finish or even better finish for cheaper, I can go get it and then just give it to you. So
And
you
take
won't
it off
be...
the budget.
Yeah, and just
Exactly.
take it out of the budget.
Like we just did, Dustin and I just did a two-day rehab event. One of the things that we showed you was we have a spreadsheet that you can go to Home Depot and you can put all the stuff that you want. What toilet, right down to, okay, I want this $99 toilet. I want this $1.19 tile. I want this light switch. I want this, I want that. And then what you do on the next column over is you say, okay, I want you to assign labor costs to all that. And now if you take that list, now they can't fudge that labor, that material cost, because you're telling them what you want picked. I want this 84-inch left-handed door, and it's, $42.
Plus that makes it easier on them. So
It does make it easier on them, but it also, a contractor that likes to charge more, that will absolutely hinder their ability and to hide that stuff, to hide a profit margin. But again, I'm going to tell you this. When you're in this business, you cannot nickel and dime your contractor. everybody wants to do the cheapest rehab they can, but I'm here to tell you, it is what it is, and your contractor has to make money. If your contractor doesn't make money, he won't be back. So you got to make sure you got to make sure it's a fair proposition on both sides. That's why understanding your numbers and understanding where he's coming from, let him make some money. If you're trying to nickel and dime and trying to get everything for dirt cheap, he's not going to want to work for you. I'm pointing to Alex, but
Yep. And what's the old saying? You can get price,
Pass this to the back of the
you can get speed, or you can get quality of your rehab. You only get 2 of those. You don't get all 3.
yeah.
So remember that.
Price and quality.
Well, it could be.
Quality, definitely price.
Yeah.
It just won't be.
Speed, I don't know.
Exactly. You lose the speed part.
Time.
Exactly. So it's a trade-off. That's why it's always hard, if not impossible, to get through.
Okay.
So Mike Murphy, did you have a question over
He
here?
had a comment.
What would be a fair profit margin for your contractor? Should they make 10% on the deal, 20%, 5%?
I don't know.
That depends on the person, really.
You know, I'm okay with them making. It depends on what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, most contractors will try to get between a 15 to 20% profit margin. I'm guessing. Mike, am I wrong?
20% minimum.
20% minimum. 15.
20%.
Okay, so Al, how long have you been in this business? 30 years. All right.
35.
So Mike's been at 35. Al's been in 30 years. So he said 20% minimum. He's 15 to 20. Okay, so that's going to be your range. Anything more than a 20%, that's their profit margin. That's how much. No, that's the. Right. Yeah, not the total. So 20% is more than reasonable. Anything above that, then you have to look and say, okay, wait a minute, we need to tweak that. Alex had a good suggestion or good
The other thing that
comment.
you guys have to take in consideration is when you are a nickel and penny contractor, when you are sitting on your house, your air condition, the contractor is back and forth to the Home Depot looking for materials and supplies, and you guys are not considering thinking that, but that's something that you have to be put on the price and the cost of the materials also.
The constant back and forth. So the better organized you are, the better. You know, if like these guys, this is their first bout with this contractor. They don't know each other. So if this deal goes well and they trust each other, they'll do another one together and then another one. Mm-hmm. And before long, they'll be able to anticipate what the other one's thinking and what they want to do.
Which is what we're going for right now.
Yeah. So, but I'm going to tell you, you've got to make sure your contractor makes money. Because that's the biggest thing I see most investors in our space. They want to nickel and dime and nickel and dime and nickel and dime and drive the price so low that the contractor can't do the job. Yeah, and then when they're not making any money, then they get a bad rap because they walked away, and you know it's really your fault.
Don, we got 2 questions right here. Let's start with Joseph, then Art.
Okay, so from the lender's point of view, a GC is supposed to give you an itemized rehab budget, just what Don was saying, and also a scope of work, what's being done on the house, right? So that way there's no misunderstanding that, oh, I thought it was this. No, this is written down, and you have to write it down. It's very important because we're going to see this, and we have our own formula that we say, okay, well, you're trying to add a bathroom, but your rehab is only $25,000. Like that's unheard of because you still have to add square footage, and you have to rehab it. So you know, you're adding square footage is different price per square footage, and rehab is different square footage as well. You see what I'm saying? So it's always important that you have those 2 items go hand in hand when you submit it to a hard money lender, right? One more other thing, yeah. If you're going to negotiate anything, negotiate the actual purchase price of the property, not so much the rehab. You don't want to be cheap on your rehab because you got to understand, you got to care for whoever's moving in here. I have 5 kids. So trust me, if I move into this house with my 5 kids, I want to make sure that everything is solid. You know, that, you know, you might save here and there, but don't do it because guess what? Then they show up late. Then they're like, you know what? It's raining. My hair hurts. Whatever reason it is, right? It's the truth. They're gonna come out with a million excuses not to come out here, and guess what? It's costing him $30 a day, and you don't want to do that. You wanna have a prosperous project, and not just one, numerous projects, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the point to take away from that is, if you're going to negotiate anything, negotiate the purchase price.
Absolutely.
Get it.
You make your money when you buy. You get paid when you sell.
I always itemize. Fixed house, 40,000. Fixed house real good, 80,000.
Art, you got a question?
You're talking budgeting for maybe 15-20% for the contractor. That's 15-20% of the purchase price or
No.
the ARV?
The construction part of it. So if it's a $50,000 renovation, 20% of that is profit.
Okay.
You gotta allow for 20% of that to be profit.
Okay.
So of that 50 grand, okay, what's 20% of that?
10 grand.
10 grand. So $10,000 is that person's profit. So the cost of labor that they pay their guys and the materials need to be at 40 grand.
Okay. You guys get that?
What's our first contractor?
40 grand is not that really nice already, you know.
Well, it depends on what the property what you're trying to do. I mean, I've been the last couple of years, I can't tell you. I mean, the one that we're doing in Decatur that I had as a rental, I put 20 grand into it. That's the cheapest rehab I've done in 5 years. Everything else has been 70 and above.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because as a renovator, you have to ask yourself, what type of renovation do you want to put your name on?
Yeah.
And there's we categorize them in 3 different ways. You have an A-type renovation. That's the TV shows where, flip this house and all that they come in, they're all staged, they're beautiful, they're gorgeous, they sell in hours. Then you have the B, it's a little less, and then you have the C renovations, which is basically just putting lipstick on it. Well, it could be a rental, yeah. So you have to, here's the point that you have to understand. When you're buying this, people are going to tell you the ARV is here, whatever that ARV amount is. And then if they're buying typically from a wholesaler, they're repairs because they don't know what kind of repairs you do or you want to do. So they're just going to give you a general number. So they may give you a $30,000 number, just like Mike put a $60,000 number on this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's based on what he would do. Well, if I look at this and go, I'm spending $100,000 if I'm spending a penny.
Easy. Easy.
That's just me. But that's the different types of rehabs. So when I look at this and go, okay, I'm going to spend $100,000 on this rehab, my ARV will be way up here. Well, if I'm going to spend 60, I can't I can't expect to get my ARV $300,000 or more. It's going to be somewhere well below that, maybe 200 or whatever. So understand the type of rehab you do is relevant to the ARV.
And that's going to determine your purchase price too.
Absolutely. I mean, you got to back it all out.
Because I'm sorry, based on what he was saying about the profit margin on the contractors, our first contractor, he was like, because his budget was around 88, 90. And so he was like, yeah, materials are going to be around 60,000 and the rest is the profit. I was like, okay, that's fine.
Well, there are contractors out there that do what's called cost plus. Okay?
What's that?
And basically whatever it's cost, they add whatever their profit margin is on top of that. So if their cost is $10,000 and it's cost 20%, they're going to charge you $1,200. So, but I mean, there are contractors out there that will do that will say, okay, I'll bill you on a cost plus basis.
That's crazy.
Which?
So you're hiring a general contractor. Is
Yes.
that what you've done?
Yes.
Okay, so really, when you think about it, you have a general contractor who normally marks up
Everything
his
else.
subcontractors, and then the subcontractors have
Their
profit inside of their numbers.
Yes.
So that number is really quite a bit higher.
Yes. So, but for those of you that are brand new and have never done a renovation before, I wouldn't do anything other than a GC. Your task at that point, if you're brand new, is buy it cheap enough so that you can make some mistakes, because you're going to make mistakes.
Oh boy.
You know what I'm saying? You're going to buy it. You need to buy it cheap enough so that you can make those mistakes, pay the extra money, get the experience, because then you're going to take the experience, and the next time you're going to say, well, you know what? My flooring guy that you met can do it cheaper, and my painter can do it cheaper. The next thing you know, you become the general contractor, and you save that 20% right off the top. And then you go out and you find a painter. You may have 3 or 4 different painters, and now you have.
The thing right now, I pulled 3 permits on my name, because in 1 year I already done 5 houses. I pulled in my name, and now they won't allow me to pull my permit.
You have to have a contractor.
You have to have a contractor.
Yeah, because in order for a homeowner to pull a contractor, the intent is you're living in that home.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised they allowed you to do 2.
Yeah, they allowed me to do 3.
Yeah, I'm surprised they allowed you to do 2.
And now,
But that's just the county not catching up yet.
yeah, and now even I'm pulling a fence permit, they need a general contractor
fence.
fence permit in front.
Fence?
That's crazy.
Yes,
Yep.
There's something new.
fence, something
But
new.
we're
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Atlanta's the only place you have to go.
That's dumb.
Yeah, but she's never pulled it before.
On my personal house in Clayton County, I had the contractor had to pull a permit to put a fence up in the backyard. They wouldn't let me do it.
Yeah.
But I will say this too.
That's dumb.
We had an inspector come out to a house we just sold in Lawrenceville, and we put a retaining wall in, and they said that we had to pull a permit. The code enforcement that came out, okay? They said we had to pull a permit. I'm like, I've never heard of that, to do that. We went to the county office, and the county office negated that. He's like, no, you don't need to pull a permit for this.
So that's just a mix of people who don't know and know.
So there can be a certain amount of, the inspector in the field may not know everything that's going on as well. The guy in orange.
What kind of insurance are you buying on a property like this and throughout your renovation? Like,
Builder's
what's the
insurance?
kind of insurance?
Yeah, we got it. You have to get builder insurance with the hard money.
Yeah, I was going to say, depending on where you're borrowing the money from, they're going to require a certain type of insurance. And in this case, it's got to be builder's risk.
Yeah.
It all depends the size of the loan.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
For this house, I believe it was around $1,000 for a year.
That's cheap.
That's not bad.
Cheap.
That's cheap.
Yeah.
That's not bad at all.
You sure it's not fire and just fire and dwelling policy?
Sure, it's builder's risk.
That doesn't cover the contractor's cost. Right?
Oh, I should take
No,
that.
the contractor has to cover their own.
Which,
just a
when you
degree,
hire the
like-
contractor, you need to make sure they're bonded and insured and everything too.
License.
In license.
Yeah.
Will you be named on the contractor's insurance as the additional insured?
That's smart.
So let's take another quick question before we go inside and see the rest of this place. Maybe 2 real quick. We'll get her first.
Are you using just a plain Excel spreadsheet to do this, or is there a program that tracks the numbers that's better to use?
Great question.
Oh, as far as the rehab costs and everything, it's just a sales spreadsheet, labor, materials, kitchen, paint, and then we divide it by interior and exterior, and then landscaping, and then we just break it down from there, like master bath, or porch, or deck, or
There are
patio
programs though.
There's-
There are programs.
Any you recommend?
Clear Estimate, Exactimate. They're
Exactly.
Clear Estimate.
Nothing worth
is-
anything is free.
Yeah.
Clear Estimate, I think, is $50 a month. Clear Estimates.
$50
Exactimate is what the insurance companies use. They're generally going to be like $80 a month. So those types of programs, though, have everything. I mean, right down to the screw, right? And they only make sense once you understand the process. Because if you try to, because you don't know what goes into those estimates yet. So
if you're using
I would use Excel. Like we have an easy one that I was telling you breaks down, like you just go to Home Depot or Lowe's or wherever and you put in a bunch of stuff with the SKU and the price, and you can just go room by room and click buttons and it'll kind of add it up, puts it on the front page. And then you just tell your contractor, give me labor for this. it's just one that we have. I mean, I can share it with you afterwards.
Okay.
Can I add something if you
Yeah.
don't mind? Guys, I'm gonna do a quick exercise if you don't mind. It's fun. Okay, guys, take out your cell phones, everybody, so you kind of understand the formula we kind of use here. All right. So with your help, right? What was the ARV? 218,000. Give or take.
We'll say 250. We're
Oh
saying.
no, the ARV that we said that off of the
At the beginning?
At the beginning,
Yeah, it was like 220.
Okay, so so
that was our conservative. Now the ARV that the lender used was the 4 something.
Okay,
which is
so let's go 220. Everybody put 220,000 in the calculator. Correct? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Let me know when everybody's ready.
Ready.
Okay, good. Multiply that by 0.70. Multiply that by 0.70. What do you got? Okay, now subtract the purchase price. What's the purchase price?
68.5.
68.5. Subtract that. What do you got?
85.
That's supposed to be your rehab. That's supposed to be your rehab. You got to keep it in there. When you, huh?
70% loan to value
Loan to
ratio.
value, right. That you should take that with you to the grave. I mean, that's good. As an investor, you have to use that formula.
Which is
now,
funny.
So now you know. Well, first we're going to find out what's the ARV, right?
Mhm.
They're going to show you. They're going to teach you how to pull that. So once you do that, you're going to know, okay, well, I have 85,000 to play with to make this project work.
Yep.
If I'm going 120,000, that's over my budget. That's tapping into my net profit. Why am I going to deal with headaches of pulling permits, contractors and everything, and I'm not even going to hit my margin? So guys, always remember that. If you're looking to see what your budget is, take the ARV, multiply that by 0.75,
since that appraisal
and then
has went up.
subtract the actual purchase price. Right.
We actually got an agent to do more comps since then because that was way back then. Yeah, and Mike actually has one down the block, and his actually sold for higher than we actually expected it to sell for how small it was. But
Yeah.
What was it?
It was his was 1,200 square feet, and it sold for 200. 195 actually.
Yeah.
195. Which was surprising to me.
Yeah.
I'm not paying.
It was on the bad side of the street up the road there.
Okay.
All right,
we
so
have-
what are you doing to the outside? Let's talk
Well, hey,
about
before you do, we had one more question.
Oh, okay.
I told her we'd take one more question. I didn't forget about you back here.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Stacy, new investor. Primary focus right now is commercial wholesaling. My question is regarding rehabbing. In terms of specifications, couldn't a rehabber or a homeowner in general save themselves a lot of headaches, sir, if when you get your contractor and you're considering your materials, whether it be wiring, bulbs, I don't care what it is, lumber, if you attach to your contract a set of specifications, does that not help keep the contractor in line?
Not
And I
really.
just want to know if it's something that contractors, from their perspective, they don't want to sign a document specifying them because they feel like they're pigeonholed or something. But
Okay.
then from the owner's perspective, aren't you then ensuring that the type of wiring, the type of lumber, paint, whatever the materials are, you are getting and staying within that range of quality that you're seeking? So
That can
yes.
change.
why
so-
isn't that
From because it's a lot of work, and
Yeah.
in order to put that level of detail into a quote, you have to really know. You have to have done enough of these to understand what level you want.
Yep.
So new investors they don't really understand that level of detail, like what type of products they should be putting in here. I mean, I'm just telling you from experience. I agree 100% with you. But the only other thing I will tell you is most contractors, you put whatever you want in writing. What's in writing isn't necessarily what they will do. Now, when it's all said and done at the end of the day, if there's legal matters that come up because of that, and you can show it's in writing, then you're always going to win.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, if your contractor lets it literally go in one ear and out the other,
Yep. 'cause
I agree with you wholeheartedly, but the problem is
You don't know
you
until
don't
it's too
know
late.
what you're getting until it's too late.
Yeah,
a lot
you
of
don't.
times.
You never know until it's too late. Which
That's
actually,
why we tell you, vet your contractor, get recommendations, go to their job site, talk to their previous customers,
And we
show
did
up
that.
unannounced at their job site.
And we did all that and still look what we ended up with.
Right.
I mean,
So
good.
I mean,
a good contractor can go bad. And another thing what you're talking about is trying to be detailed is we were as detailed as we could on the scope of work on how the cabinets and how big the room sizes and what we want in the rooms and the layouts and what exactly we wanted done with the floor plan in the scope of work. Now, did he do that? No. I mean,
we
really,
even had a clause in there that said if you're not done by this date, you're gonna pay us this much money per day until it's done. But that deadline ended a month ago, and look, it didn't really work.
Was the challenge that you all gave him $3,000 cash?
Yeah.
Now y'all paid $3,000 cash.
Mm-hmm.
You're ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, here's the other thing I will tell you. And a lot of contractors will ask you to do this. They will ask you to put 20 30, 40,
yes.
50% up front.
Anybody else need
Absolutely never do that. If a contractor says, I need half up front,
Yep.
do a 180-degree turn and say, thank you, but no thanks.
Yeah, because actually we had another house before this one that we had under contract, and one of the contractors that we talked to, who was he was a recommended contractor, but he wanted 30% up front.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, no, we can't do that. He's like, but listen, I'm going to get all this done and this done, and I need some money for blah. Well, you should have that money up front if you need that much money. Otherwise, what are you doing with your job?
You can pay for materials. If the contractor, a lot of contractors are broke, they don't pay for, well, it's not that they're broke, they're as skeptical of you as you are of them.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to go out and buy a bunch of materials and have you not pay for that. Okay, so until they understand you, until they get comfortable with you, you know, they may say, well, I want you to buy at least the first draw's worth of materials. So it's okay to do that. All right, so let's talk about the outside.
Okay.
Then we're going to go on the inside and take it out.
That's right. It won't take too much longer, I promise. Okay, so we said we're bringing out the wall on the bottom floor. It's not the whole wall. It's about half of the square footage of the porch here. This is where the bedroom is, on this side of that door on the side of the house. It's going to be part of the master bedroom. We'll have his and hers closet that you'll walk between into the master bath on the end. On the top,
outside.
outside. But okay, but they need to be able to envision the outside wall being moved out this way. On top, the top floor, just this one side is going to be moved out to match so that it's nice and straight on this side.
Which is also why it's more expensive.
Right. That's the other biggest part of it's just a few feet there.
Which when we got the quotes, we got quotes from like 5 different contractors, and they've all been, most of them have been around the same range. Like we said, we had one that was really high at 150, but all the other ones have been around 185-ish, in between that spectrum, which is fine because that still works for us. But the major things was that this addition, whoever owned this house before did a horrible job with this addition. Which you will learn when you go inside, this whole addition has to be pitched up. Like, yeah.
And you're going to do all this for how much?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, hey, we have a little room if we have to.
25,000. I'm telling you,
Mm-hmm.
to have an addition for everything, it costs 25,000.
That's probably about
Well,
right.
I will say this.
Just
Your
the
backyard
Yeah.
can be amazing.
Yeah.
If you have the money to do
If you have the money. Exactly.
Exactly.
That's
exactly.
This
Because I got to tell you, in this area, nobody has this.
Nobody.
Very few people. So if you can make this a haven,
Uh-huh.
this could sell the house.
Yes.
So forget about, I mean, I shouldn't say forget about the inside, but if you make sure you save enough money to make this backyard right here amazing.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think it would cost?
Out here,
7,000.
$7,000 to $10,000.
Yeah, and see our
Clean
numbers.
it up and to do what?
Well, because you got, because,
Yeah.
and when I say that, I'm thinking, you know, you redo the fireplace back there, the grill,
That's not a fireplace. That's a pond.
You
That's a
mean
little
fountain.
lake fountain. That's a fountain.
oh, right there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a
Okay.
fireplace from here,
Okay,
but
I
that's
thought
a
it was a
fountain.
fireplace, but I would redo the pond. I would redo.
Make it a fireplace.
Yeah, I would. You know, you can put yourself a brick fireplace back there, because I would make this where someone wants to be out in their backyard. Because in town like this, that's a very rare. That's a very rare amenity.
It's a huge selling.
Exactly.
Outdoor
you
living
can,
space.
You can be less dramatic here if this is more dramatic. This literally could save you guys. I mean, but make sure you spend money out here. Save enough money to spend it out here.
We were anticipating on spending about $6,000 just in the backyard, anyways.
But to
Okay.
do what? Do you know yet? No,
Well,
I mean,
for
it's
starters,
understandable
getting
to
rid of the
just cleaning
weeds,
it up,
rebuilding,
Yeah, at least clean it up
and
and-
replenishing some of the things that are back here, including making the well look nice. Where the well is in the back, there's a little gazebo back there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, making it like a gazebo as opposed to just a well. And a nice
Yeah, I mean, you
little
have
sitting
your
space.
pergola here that, or I don't know if that's a pergola,
Probably don't have to
but
do as much as
it looks like a thing for hanging clothes, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, whoever owned this house before, they tried to make it really nice and
Yeah.
pretty.
Yeah,
They
and
did a
I'm
good
telling
job.
you, you could make this like a what I would call like a Japanese type garden.
Mm-hmm.
The how they have it, and you got a koi pond. You could have nice pavers, stepping stones with some sod and some grass and nice grill. Someone could go out and enjoy themselves.
I would
out
love a
there.
hammock.
That will
Oh,
sell. That will help sell your house.
If if those two trees were close enough, that would be perfect.
Mike.
Right there.
Noticed on the edge, there's a pretty severe drop off between this property and the
Yeah.
next. Would you be required to put up some type of retaining wall? Whose responsibility is that?
I mean, as long as we're not doing anything over there at the wall.
I would
and
put a
it's-
fence. I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're putting a
personally,
fence up there.
privacy
We
fence.
got surveys and we have the structural engineer and everything come out here.
Yeah.
So, yes.
because
so-
we were nervous about that too. So
Yeah, the idea is that we are
We
going to
did
put a
probably
privacy
did a due
fence all the way around on the inside of where the fence is now. We're not going to do too much with that fence because it's too close to the wall. But we want to,
No,
or
it
where
was like
the retainer
we would
wall
grab
is.
a property.
So we want to be able to put the privacy fence just inside a few inches, enough so that we don't risk breaking the wall down.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
good.
because heavy equipment over here on this side of the property could be a very bad thing for the whole house. All the dirt in the house could just go tumbling down. That would be very bad. We don't want that. But let's go ahead and move over this way. Be careful, those of you that are here on site with us. Please be careful as you walk in. There's a hole in the floor.
Now, Don,
I love the
Michael,
fact
and
that you
Damon, try to stick together because you all have hot mics.
I love the fact that you guys have citronella. That's great.
Hey,
I wish
man.
everybody had that. I wish everybody did.
I'm
that.
glad they did with all the bugs
Yeah,
out here.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, man, that's awesome.
All right. So over here, the side of the house, you'll see that it needs some structural repair. The house will have to be lifted. That'll
Because
have
they've
to be
been under
fixed
the house
and replaced.
already to look at that and price
Repaired.
that.
That's in it a beauty. So where you're standing here in front of me, over to where that brick is going to be a patio deck. So that you walk straight off the deck. The driveway is going to be just behind you there. We're moving it to be on this side of the fire pit. So that people can get out of the car, walk onto the deck, and into the house from this side.
Nice.
No, this is not a bedroom. Unless we change our mind, but we probably
No, we're
won't.
not. We're not changing our mind. But this area will be.
Watch your step going in here.
Oh, wait,
This
wait,
is.
wait.
Yeah, watch your step.
One more time. Let me just warn everybody.
Yeah, warn them outside. So they can hear
Okay, so one more time. Be very careful coming in. It's not so bad that the fall is going to fall through necessarily, but as you walk in past this first wall inside, there's a hole over to the right. So you want to be very careful about where you're stepping. Okay, so please don't fall in the hole.
you. Hey, when they come in, where do you want us to reassemble?
You can just be in the center.
In this room or the next room?
In this room.
Okay. Come on in, folks. Be careful.
Yeah, try to step on the riser.
It is
On the runner, I mean.
Yeah, that's not even the hole I was talking about.
That is a air duct hole.
Which we saw a bunch of air ducts in here that are on the ground, but we didn't see no AC unit.
Watch for nails.
Yeah.
Things poking up out of the floor. Be very careful.
Very, very careful, people.
Okay, so
How are you?
beyond the wall to the right is going to be part of the master suite closet bathroom space. On this side and this corner here is going to be the laundry area. And then we have like a breakfast sitting area.
In that corner. And,
And
then
this-
this is the kitchen.
The doorway to the patio will be French doors.
So I'm standing in the kitchen?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this will be the kitchen, the island, French doors right here, a little breakfast nook, and the laundry room is over there.
So this is kind of where y'all adding on.
No, this is existing. We're adding on to that side. With a study, where it says study right there, and that we're basically just gonna square that off from the porch area.
So of course there'll be recessed lighting in the ceiling over the kitchen and the breakfast area.
Okay, when you walk in this room right here, I don't want too many people on this. You'll see it here as you do not have 2 or 3 people walking.
Yeah, don't congregate on it.
Do one, just to be safe. Just spread out.
Yeah. When you're walking through this next little section, please walk to the opposite wall. Don't spend too much time in this little nook. This is where the holes are.
Hey, why don't you stay there until everybody gets through?
Yes.
Damon, you can go on over there with Don.
Okay.
But just one at a time.
Hey, what's happening?
Good to you?
This house looks like it's got a lot of potential.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So where everybody's coming through at is going to be the dining room.
Have them kind of reassemble over here behind you. It looks a little more structurally sound over there.
Yeah, here's this.
1586
Over here.
will be 1900.
Is that?
Oh, you can just walk across. You're fine.
Yeah, those shoes are probably not the most conducive for rehabbing.
Yeah, check out our rehab shoes, folks.
That's the event.
That's how you rehab right there.
Yeah, that's going to be gone. Definitely. Yeah, those were for the older houses, like 1940s, 30s.
All right, so tell us what you're doing in here.
So this whole stretch is basically going to be the living room. This whole thing. So when you walk, this is actually the front door.
Okay.
There's going to be a wraparound porch right here. It's going to wrap around to the other side of that porch. So you come in here.
Does that door open, Damon? Currently?
Yes, that door opens.
You want to open it up and get a breeze in here?
I might let get this more on this front door.
We can also see out the wraparound porch you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then here, this wall's going to be knocked out because as you'll see when you go this way, there's a sort of like a winding staircase, and code won't allow for a staircase like that anymore because this is an older house. So there'll be a stairway going up here. So when you first walk in, you'll see a staircase. Then the fireplace is going to be right there. We're just going to update that. So this whole stretch will be living room. That area right there is going to be the dining room. So that window will stay. We just update the windows in here, and then obviously flooring, but just table, dinner table, and everything's gonna be over there. And then we walk this way to the hallway.
Everybody follow.
So this will be where the stairs will come down. You'll see the stairs right here, but this will be the master.
So you're changing.
We have to change
the stairs.
Yeah, we have to change the stair layout. We have to.
You have to. Why do you have to change them again?
First, number one is not wide enough to bring stuff up.
Okay.
Oh,
I see it.
Yeah.
He also said it's not up to code.
3 feet.
Yeah, we know. Our architect.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, it's not in the code.
Yeah. And this would be the master. As we said, we'd push this wall out to square it off, and that would be the master bath. And then we also pushing this from this corner on out to the porch, which will make the
I don't know why I was thinking that was the front of the house. I was confused.
a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people think that too. Yeah.
That's why I was like, okay. I didn't want to say anything, and I was like,
Yeah, this is the
Okay,
side.
I knew you were thinking it too.
Yeah, I'm like,
But I knew so I didn't say
because I
anything.
was trying to understand where they're going with it. And I was like, wow, they're really gonna. Okay, that makes sense now.
Yeah.
That's the front of the
Yep.
house.
So this is going to be the new master. How big is it going to be?
Extra 300 square feet. Right?
Plans. I have the plan. This whole area won't be. Now this whole area might be 300 square feet, but this is not just the added. The added square footage is not just the 300 down here. There'll be more upstairs, so it's divided. Total will be around 300 square feet that we add.
Okay.
So no, not down here. I think it's around 100 actually. Because the bathroom we're gonna have to add a bathroom upstairs, which is probably where the other 200 or so is going.
Okay.
Then the guest
This is going to be the
bathroom.
master.
Yep, master.
Hey, Michael, you coming up?
This will be the guest bathroom. We'll just update everything in here.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I was looking the other way.
Hey, Don, they got your favorite pink tile.
My favorite tile?
Your favorite pink tile? Like at Mom's house.
Oh yeah. Yep, that's right. You did pink towel. Yep.
I feel like I'm at home.
Back there, guys.
Yep.
Are y'all brothers? No. Okay.
No, but you still see it every now and then, the pink tile. He used to always
But
talk about.
actually,
Yeah.
We're just updating this.
actually, they painted this tile.
So they chose to paint it.
No, they paint. It was pink. It was. They painted it.
They tried to paint it.
Tried to paint it this white.
Some other color. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, it's right back there. You can see it back there.
Okay.
Yellow. Or,
Yeah, this wall's gonna be.
So it was
this
pink
whole
and didn't stick.
column right here.
yeah, this was 1950.
That's a nice sink or whatever. I've never seen one.
And the only reason why we are doing
Yeah,
such a big
you,
job,
you
like
could probably take
Clean and
that.
preserve.
you saw that first room y'all walked
preserve
into
that,
where the
get
kitchen's
some
gonna be.
Alpeo.
All that was done so horribly. It
Yeah.
Pitch it up.
Art,
that
check
the
this
roof
out.
would have to be redone.
You guys
anyways.
probably
Am I in
need
your
to
way?
We
save
could pitch
that.
that roof up and add some.
The sink is.
Save that thing.
That's what we're gonna.
Yeah, because you could repurpose this for
This
some
right
other
here
project.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a
Or
hallway
take it
right
down
here.
to an antique store and
And-
someone will buy it.
Yeah.
On the other side will be the
Yeah, that's
bathroom.
nice.
So the bathroom is
You
gonna
don't see
tie
it right
up
here.
vertically up here. So all the plumbing will tie up vertically.
Now your electrical's all going to be changed because
Yep.
right now you got all exterior.
There's no wiring anywhere anyway. It's all been cut. And ripped.
Art likes these old school
Um,
style
Okay.
medicine cabinets.
As we go up the steps, stay to the right because to the left, there's not very much for you to step on, just the way the stairs are made. They're not very wide steps anyway because they're old-fashioned spiral steps, which is why we're changing it. So please just be careful going up. The rails are sturdy. They'll hold you for the most part unless everybody pulls on it at once.
We'll make sure.
Yes.
Yeah, just
All right,
be
we're gonna
careful,
have to
please.
Stay to the right. Let me
Also,
follow
we
these
need to
guys
hurry
up.
up here because it gets hot up here. So
Yep.
we need to.
Hey, Art, check out the sink and the medicine cabinet.
Oh yeah, Art loves medicine cabinets.
I think you'll like that one if he can restore it.
He's just saying stay to the right because the steps kind of narrow. That's all. Structurally sound. Go ahead. You want to get through there?
So this will be the little. This will be just a little nook. We'll probably have like a bench right here, and just replace the windows. Now, these are old-fashioned weighted windows.
What's up?
You know what those are, Dustin? It's like a pulley.
Yes, I've seen them.
Yes.
Do they still function or are they
Yeah,
like painted
they still
shut?
work. We actually opened them. Right here.
No, you replacing them? You're going to try to store them?
We're gonna replace them only because we did. Well,
Don't say that out loud.
Just rope. I was going to say, if you take them out, somebody might want to come and take them off your hands and restore
yeah,
them.
for sure.
Yeah, I think Andy and those guys sold a lot of them on eBay or Craigslist.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Like that old sink down there.
This is gonna be a three.
3-3.
It's gonna be a 3-3.
Okay.
They're converting it to a 3-3 if you didn't hear.
Yeah, because it's gonna be that master bedroom, bathroom, and the master bath, and that guest bathroom up here, and then right here, we have to move this wall a few inches this way, so we have enough clearance for the hallway. So this will be a hallway right here. We have to knock this wall out and put a hallway right here, and we're extending the roof, so it's gonna be like a little nook on the other side for the bathroom, because we're gonna have the bathroom going vertically from the guest bathroom, so all the plumbing ties in. Okay. So this we'll just put a bench right here and it'll be like a little sitting area for somebody if they want.
Okay.
But that's a bedroom, and this will be the other bedroom. This bedroom will be a little bit bigger, because as we said before, we're moving this wall out to the end so everything's even on this end.
When you say moving it out to the end, you're moving it out to the end of the roof line there?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Moving it all out to the end of the roof line, and then yeah, that's it in here too.
Now,
Now,
you
we
said
wanted
this is going to be a hallway?
Yeah.
Well,
So
the
this
closet, we're
this
moving
right
the
here,
closet.
where the closet is, this is gonna be where the hallway goes. Cause you need I forgot how much feet of clearance.
Where's the hallway go to?
That's it. It'll be going to a bathroom.
Okay.
So will the closet in here be over in the corner, where this corner is now?
Closet will probably be over there.
Because they're moving this wall out, so they got plenty of room to put it over here if they have
Yeah.
to.
Oh yep. That's pretty much everything. Floor plans and everything.
Let's check out this. Anything special going on in here?
Nope. That's probably gonna be the least amount done in here.
Okay, gonna kind of leave it as is.
Probably gonna be the least amount untouched. It's probably they're gonna fix, see the molding on the bottom is pretty decent, so they're just gonna fix that up, paint, And we were debating on whether we were gonna smooth out the walls or not. But I was thinking it would be nice to keep it just because of the character of how old the home is already. But we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Did we talk about the floors?
Yep. Floors are going to be refurbished. Everything's going to be sanded down and
The old baseboard he was talking about.
stained.
This is one bedroom, there's two, where's the third one?
Downstairs.
The master.
The master.
You saw it coming in.
You walked right past it by that restroom, and they're going to blow out that back wall and make that bedroom bigger.
You think? Have you done a yard like that before? You want to help us on that part?
So Art, here's the master right here.
I know, right?
There's that old sink we were talking about. In the old school, some old medicine cabinet.
We're gonna save some of it.
Some of it for sure.
Yeah, we just
What they
can't
can.
obviously save it all.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's a really good old.
I'm gonna let you guys keep your mics hot. I'm gonna walk out and just kind of pan around the yard so you guys can keep chit chatting.
And actually, all the
Excuse me,
contractors really did this house.
I'm just gonna come
There was a
pan around
bunch
and show
of
everybody the
furniture
front of the
up in
house.
here, like old furniture. There was like I wouldn't say a squatter. I thought it was a squatter, but the neighbors told me that somebody was actually paying rent.
What
Like
are you doing
a
with
few
this?
bucks of rent. That fireplace?
So this is the front of the house we were talking about earlier.
What about that door?
That door stays
Where's it go?
to the porch.
So earlier Don was saying he thought this was the front of the house
So
over
all
here,
he
but
did
it's
in
not.
here was, there was a wall right there and there was a wall right there.
It's a nice lot.
He knocked out the walls and then,
Lots of potential.
yes, definitely. Especially with that window looking like that's going to be replaced as well. All the windows and stuff here is going to be replaced. The major thing in this room is going to be that window. There's going to be a huge.
This place is like a
pane.
jungle though, but man,
And
what a
then
lot
you're gonna
of
have
it's
the
got a lot of
fireplace
potential.
right here. So if anybody, they're gonna have, they can have the couch right here, sofa right there, and then watch TV above the fireplace.
So this is your living area?
Yes, all
Out
this
here on the
is
street.
Yes, that'll be the dining
New
area.
construction there, new construction going up next to it.
Master, and then guest room.
So that's what you're going back?
Yes, that's what we're blowing back. Yeah.
And the bathroom will be included?
Not a bad street.
And so all of that,
But welcome to the jungle.
bed and bath, and then upstairs, 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms?
2 bed and 1 bath upstairs. 3. So
It'll
it'll be a
be
3-3.
2.
It'll be a 3-3.
Where's the 3rd bathroom?
Well, we're at 2 on the first floor.
Okay.
This one.
And the powder?
Their mics are starting to break up a little bit because I'm so far away from them with the receivers. This is like a little side street, dirt road that goes back to the back to where they're going to put in the driveway. Not on me. I apologize.
Just go to like events like this. There's a bunch of people here. Actually, I don't know if they're gone yet, but New Western is a big wholesaling company around here that they do a lot of wholesaling. And New Western is a company. Yes. We do some wholesaling. We just started wholesaling. Like we said, we're new. So we just sold our first wholesale deal like last week. Since we got this on, we can't do it. We're not trying to focus on any more at the moment. So we're gonna just focus on wholesaling while doing this house. So
Nice private little drive back here.
So criteria.
What's up, folks? How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Like,
what's up? How you doing, man?
Perimeter,
Doing
outside.
well.
Glad you made it.
Yeah, glad to
Like
be
how
here.
many
This
beds,
is
the bath,
quite a job
or
here.
Yes, it
does
is.
have square
Yes, it
footage or
is.
anything like that?
Damon and Michael.
Okay. Cars are actually in the car.
They're both
I can give
new.
you a
They're
car.
both in here if you want to come on in.
Car. And I'll definitely send you a message.
Yes.
We can talk more about that.
Yep, that's why we're here.
But yeah, if you want more wholesalers on your list,
You don't want to be on
go
film
to
saying that,
the
do you?
Atlanta REIA meetings on Mondays. They actually
Yeah.
had one yesterday, a Shark Tank meeting. But there's a lot of wholesalers
It's
there too. And just
Definitely going to be an
flat out butcher
experience.
all
Well, come on in.
Yeah,
Come through the
there's
back.
plenty of wholesalers around here. If there's anything in the investing world, it's wholesale.
Welcome, guys. Glad you made it.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Actually, how much time do you think it'll take to do all that?
This,
Hey, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Glad you
the
made it.
contractor said,
It's going to be a heck of a
he
project.
said a month and a half, 2 months.
We'll bring you back
I'm
later
giving
this
him like
year
4 or
and see how it
5.
goes.
Yeah, I'd love to see it.
Because that's
You
not
will.
realistic to me. Especially after the first contractor said, oh, I can get it done in 2 or 3 months. It's still this way. And I can't do that again. Like, I'm being very aggressive with this contractor. Like, I hope I don't push him away. But not like trying to penny pinch or nothing, but as far as getting stuff done, if I don't see him getting it done, when he says to get it done, like, oh, I'm going to get this done by Saturday or something. If he doesn't get it done by Saturday, well, I'm going to have to go do it myself. I have to find somebody to do it myself because I'm not going to wait on him while he's just telling me, oh, I'm going to get it done this day or this day or this day. And then I'm sitting here and we're here 3 months again into the project and nothing's
Let's
done.
go outside and do it.
Because that's exactly what happened. He would tell us, oh, I'm getting this done this day, or I'm going to go and get this done this
It's
day.
better to
I'm gonna
go back
have
out back,
somebody else,
Don.
or my guys come over on this day, and then nothing. I would personally come out here every day to see if something was something.
Damon.
But when he said he would have something going on.
Grab Michael. We're going to go back out and congregate back out in the driveway
Okay.
and wrap things up.
Did you want to show me something?
We are behind 3 weeks.
Why?
Thanks for coming.
What's up?
We're going to recongregate back out in the driveway and wrap things up.
Why? Is it because of the rain? Wow. Uh-huh.
We got the cut all of the rain to stick the addition inside.
Uh-huh. Oh, wow.
But if we cut the roof,
So how realistically, how long do you think it would take to do this house?
8 months.
8 months. Really?
Well done.
Huh? Well done. 8 months. 8 more months or 8 months total? Okay. Yeah.
The guys, he was seeing the plans.
Oh, he's gonna-
watching the plans.
Wow.
The plan.
I got invested in my, because I've been thinking about that for a long time.
It's the rain that killed it.
The rain is putting us behind.
Uh-huh.
They live in 3 houses.
Yeah, and the thing about our house is when we put it on the contract and we wanted him to he said he could get started right away. Well, for literally 2 or 3 weeks, it was no
Mr.
rain
Murphy,
at all.
appreciate you
And
coming
then all
out.
of a sudden,
Oh, absolutely.
it just started
Enjoy
raining
it.
heavy
Yep.
'cause,
Always
you know,
learn
April
something
was a
new.
rainy
Yeah,
month.
last night too.
And we were
I learned a
lucky.
lot. That's
Yeah,
one
And
of
I
the
was like, well,
educational
you
hearing
need to
people
start before the rainy season
put in their
comes.
comments about what they
And
would have done
he didn't
different.
start,
and
so
improved.
now we got
Shark
rain
Tank is
to do it
awesome.
too. And you see this pitch.
It's gonna be one of my new favorite meetings.
And we need to get that. We need to get that sweater, which is also why we're gonna extend it out because it's. I mean,
I
at
heard
the
he's
end of the
going to
day,
have a wraparound porch over here.
yeah.
It's going to be nice.
At the end of the day, we weighed the cost and numbers and everything, and it's really just more feasible. It's a bigger job, but at the end of the day, it'll be worth more.
All right, Don, bring us home.
Everything's open. You just gotta go in there and put some new flooring. I'm doing the new everything.
Where's Mike?
I don't know.
Okay.
Over there.
All right,
That's
so
not Mike.
That's not Mike.
That's just another white
let's
person.
get everybody over here.
Come on, everybody!
You're bad, man.
I'm sorry.
He said that if he wants right now,
All right, can we have everybody over here?
Kind of gather around. We're going to wrap things up before we all take
Wrap it
off.
up. We got to head to the airport.
Cameron.
Yeah, I'll be so happy right now if at least framing was up. Like, that's not
Okay,
even.
we're gonna wrap this up,
That's
fellas.
the frustrating thing. Like, you don't have permits or nothing. Like,
All right,
the
so if you
time.
guys want
And that's partly
head
on
that way,
mostly on me because being the naive and passive investor.
Okay.
I'm thinking I'm supposed to trust the contractor to do everything. And obviously, you can't do that with every contractor.
Anyone have any
so-
questions about anything before we kind of wrap everything up? Time frame.
What's your timeline for getting this thing done?
By the end of the year.
By the end of the year.
So in December, we're going to have a cake party here, a cookout?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Which year?
We can book the spot for party, Christmas party.
All right,
I
so
want to party it in this backyard.
Party on the day.
before we say goodbye to these guys, there's a couple things I want to go over really fast. How many people are new or fairly new investors? All right, and don't feel comfortable driving because one of the questions that we get asked to us all the time is, you know, how do we handle phone calls? How do we do driving for dollars? What do we do when we meet a seller? How do we conduct ourselves? What do we ask? What do we say? How do we present ourselves? So we decided we're going to do a 2-day event. And this is to your request. This is a 2-day event that we're going to be doing driving for dollars, dialing for dollars, and talking to sellers. And what I mean by that is the first day, we're going to sit down and we're going to give you some scripts. We're going to teach you how to talk to sellers. We're going to I have a bunch of phone numbers. We're going to plug them into a dialer. We're going to dial them out, and I'm going to plug in each one of your phone numbers into that, and we're going to hit the button. And then you are going to be taking phone calls from live sellers wanting to sell their home after we train you on what to say. So you're going to be taking, whether you want to take it or not, you're going to be taking phone calls from sellers. You're going to understand what it means to talk to them, how to interact with them. Then we're going to take it to the next level and do driving for dollars, teach you how to do that, what you should bring with you, what you should have on you, how do you research them, how do you look them up when you can't find them, if they're not here, if it's vacant like this, what do you do? And then the other thing is, that's it, right? Driving for dollars, dialing for dollars, and door knocking. Door knocking.
Yep, because we want you to target some for sale by owners.
Right. So
we want you to knock on the neighbors next to houses that are vacant to find out who owns it. Just want to get you out in the field, hands-on, trying to find some deals.
So day 1 is classroom time. Day 2 is actually where we go, okay, see ya. And we team you up and we go out in the field and we drive for dollars, we door knock, then we come back and we discuss it and what went right, what went wrong, what you liked, what you didn't like, so on and so forth. So how many people would be interested in that? It's going to be a fairly inexpensive seminar for 2 days. We've never done this before, ever. So it can be a complete success or a complete failure. I have no idea.
It's going to be a complete success, but the one part that we cannot guarantee is the outbound dialer working like we want it to. We will be experimenting on you. If it works, it works.
Well,
if it doesn't,
we
if it
will
does not
actually be
work,
experimenting in Tampa.
That's true.
That's true. We'll know if it doesn't work.
Don't make us the
on
beginning
Saturday.
piece.
He just reminded me, my bad, we're doing this weekend in Tampa. So we're going to experiment on them, so hopefully we will have the bugs worked out by then.
How many people are interested in this?
Yep.
All right. And one thing I will tell you, and I know some people say this all the time, and I will never say this. Space is limited because of those types of technology.
Because of the dialer.
Because I want to make sure you have enough calls coming in to take a few calls. So I need to be able, now I'm going to show you some techniques that you're going to want to pay attention to, because I guess the question is, how many of you can generate hundreds of phone calls in one push of a button? Well, if you can't, then you may want to come just to check that out and how I'm getting my phone to ring 100 times in the span of 10 minutes.
And if you come with a friend, we're most likely not going to team you up together. So we probably would not team you two up together.
If
we want you to team up with somebody different, somebody new.
Remember, PPG members come free.
Fill it out now. I've been gone for 2 weeks.
Okay, PPG
yeah,
members.
turn it in. That way we know you're coming, because you need to, because it's limited to 30
I'm
people.
Tell you that in a minute. Anybody? Who else? Am I missing anybody else?
It is not up on the website as well.
Okay.
We just put this together within the past 48 hours, and it has not made it to the website yet.
Okay.
The checkout link is up. It's areia.us/D. Areia, AREIA.us/D. The D is for dollars. Is a shortcut just to the shopping cart.
Go on the website.
But we haven't put any information up about the class itself on Atlanta REIA yet. It's up on the TampaREIA.com page, on the homepage. It's the same information, just we're doing it here. So if you want to read more about it, you can check it out at TampaREIA.com.
Okay.
All right?
Well, that's worth
So,
it.
hey,
I mean,
as we wrap things up, Joseph,
just
you got any
for that,
final words you'd like to say?
It's up to you.
Guys, just do your due
We
diligence
only
on
price
everything.
this for 1 day.
From your realtor to your contractor to your hard money lender to your closing attorney. You know, you don't want to be stuck in certain situations where I said, you know what, I could have done 5 minutes extra of some homework and I could have alleviated me losing $25,000. You know, so guys, just do your due diligence on everything.
Yep. Damon, you got any final remarks you'd like to say? Any words of wisdom for these new investors like yourself?
Well, I was telling people earlier, be aggressive. Even with the contractors, don't trust everything they say, even if they are good, which is what our major problem was. putting too much trust in the contractor. He would say he was going to get his guys out on a certain day or a certain time, and a week would go by, and that time would come, and I'd go out there and nothing's done, and that kept happening. So now I'm getting to the point where if you're going to say something and you don't do it, I'm going to just do it myself.
To hold your people accountable.
Exactly, because I can't
stay on top of them.
I mean, time is money, and we really learned that with this.
How much money?
How much a day?
$40 a day, basically. Think of it that way.
So yeah, definitely be aggressive and active, and it also gives you learning experience. So, I mean, that's all.
All right, Michael.
I say don't be afraid of failure. Just go out there and put your best foot forward and get advice from people who are already doing it and make the best of the situation that you can. Be assertive though, with the people that you do business with. Don't let them slide by thinking that things are going to change or they're going to follow through this time when the last 5 times they haven't. Because chances are they're not. If they haven't done it twice, they're not going to do it, period.
All right, what's the old saying? Ready, fire, aim.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Get ready, fire, go out there and do it, and then clean it up.
Exactly. And another big thing is this is our first one, and it's really big for our first one.
You think?
Like they said. But hey, we got it, and the only reason we really did feel comfortable that we had a chance of doing this is we do have a support group. Like we're at the Atlanta REIA meetings all the time. We're in PPG, so if we do have concerns or anything, I could text Dustin or Dawn or Christy, and they could give us advice, or anybody else in the PPG
That's right.
group.
You don't have to do this business alone.
So yeah, it is just 2 of us doing this house, but there's definitely a lot of people behind it.
It's a lot funner if you do it with friends and family, for sure.
All right, with that
Don?
being said, how many people are interested in what the PPG program is? Well, if you're in PPG, raise your hand. Okay, so you can look around. For those of you that aren't in the PPG program, you can see who's in there. Okay, almost everybody now that's here, or half the people anyways. PPG is called Property Protege Group. And it's where we do, and you'll notice on this sheet, PPG is free. Any seminar we do in the REIA group that is part of the REIA group, for the most part, there's maybe one exception in the year, but it's free to PPG members. So if somebody comes to town, and does a seminar for a daily seminar, it's free. So as a PPG member, you get to come to all that events for free. You get all my educational materials. A lot of you were asking about the rehab worksheet and the rehab spreadsheet and all that stuff. That's all included. That's all part of the program. You get probably 12 different courses, home study courses. That's all free. You get the GroupMe app, which Damon was talking, he has questions or whatever. He texts everybody out and it blasts out to everybody and he gets instant answers. That's all free. You get a Facebook Live. This isn't so much live, but every other event that we do, you'll notice we have cameras going all the time.
Yep.
That is for our PPG members only. So if you can't attend something, you can watch it later. If you can watch it live sitting in your own living room, or you can watch it next week when you're back in town or able to do it. Okay? So what I want to do is invite each of you the next time we will meet as a group, and you guys are if you're interested in this at all, now is a very good time because we just finished our semester and we're starting over again. So we're starting fresh again in not this coming Wednesday, but the following Wednesday. So
is that the 15th?
No, it might be.
Yeah, tomorrow.
It might be.
Not this Wednesday.
The following.
Next Wednesday.
Okay.
15th.
So you guys are all invited to come to one event for free, one PPG, just to check it out. See if it's something that you want. Talk to the people that are members of PPG. See if it's something that you'd be interested in. See if you can see yourself there. Kind of get a feel for what we do and how we help you, how the group helps each other. We do lots of interactive, we're starting to do lots of interactive exercises.
In class and in the field.
Right. So a lot of this, of what you see going around, is specifically driven to train our PPG members. So a lot of the stuff that we're putting in place is specifically derived from the PPG program. So if you're interested, you can come for free. It's at the same place as the general meeting. which is 3125 Presidential Parkway. It's also on this address, on this form here. It's at the same location. It's every Wednesday from 7 p.m. until we finish, and that's usually around 11:30. The only exception to that Wednesday is this week every month, Dustin and I go to Tampa. We still do a PPG down there. It's just on Friday, and you guys can watch it from there live, or you can watch it recorded.
Yep. So come on out and see us. We'd love to have you next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday, 7 o'clock. No obligation. Come check it out. You know,
we'd love to have you. All right, everybody, let's give it up for Michael and Damon for
very much.
hosting us today. Good luck, guys. We're rooting for you. We can't wait to come back and see it again when you guys are maybe halfway finished, or definitely when you're done. So thanks again, everybody.
Thank you again.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time.